Yamaha just announced an electric YZ450. Let's talk about it. For those that didn't see, Yamaha just unveiled the new YE-01, which essentially is their take on an electric 450 dirt bike. So let's dive into the background of this bike and what to expect from it. In 2024, Yamaha announced a partnership with Electric Motion, and Electric Motion is actually a French manufacturer that's been making electric trial bikes for over 15 years. So reason I bring this company up is the YE-1 is made in collaboration with them. The chassis of this bike looks to be or is going to be the same as the 2026 YZ450F. Shares a lot of the same parts, including the KYB suspension. The actual powertrain, I believe, is made by Electric Motion, or they at least had a pretty big part in making and designing it. We don't really know too much about the actual specs of the bike, but one interesting thing we do know about this bike is it's going to have a hydraulic clutch, which I don't exactly know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to make it different, that's for sure. I know this bike is just a prototype and this isn't the final production model, but I do hate the plastics we're seeing on these initial photos. It's like a blue camo thing going on, just not a huge fan. But other than that, the bike pretty much looks like a YZ450, and in my opinion, it's a great looking bike, so no complaints there. From what I've read, this bike was actually designed to compete in the electric MX series that was going to launch, because right now there is some competition for the Stark Varg, or we have seen other full-size e-motos hit the market. KTM took a shot out a couple years back. They had their freeride. I don't think it was a huge hit. It only had like 18 kilowatts of power, which is not bad, but for a bike that heavy, not great. It was also a lot of money. I've seen Kawasaki do some prototypes for electric bikes. I know Honda's been teasing their CRE forever. And in the electric world, Arctic Leopard's got a pretty good full-size bike. Haven't ridden or seen one in person, but I do hear great things about him. But let's be real, the Stark Varg is king right now for that size bike. So no matter what comes to this bike, just good to see some competition in that category. Releases like this really do help push the whole electric industry forward. So who's going to be the intended buyer of this bike? I mean, for one, it seems to be this bike is going to be pretty track ready. So if you're looking for a full-size bike to take to the track, this might be a great option for you. Also, if you're like me and like to do supermoto things, I think this bike can make a great supermoto build. But I will say I do see a couple potential problems with this bike. For one, and I mean just because of the purchase method, the price could be outrageous, because you have to think, how are these bikes going to be sold? Probably through dealerships. And what do we know about dealerships? They're going to tack on a bunch of extra fees. Especially the first 6 months to a year these hit the market, it's over with. They're going to be trying to charge like over MSRP plus fees and all that stuff. You already know how it goes at dealerships. Now, I could be being pessimistic. Maybe they're sold independently, but I mean, it's a Yamaha product, so why would they not be sold at Yamaha dealerships, you know? So that could be a huge con of this bike, as it could be a crazy price to get it to your house. Even if the MSRP they come out with is reasonable, we still run the risk for that price gouging because of the dealership model. Also, with Electric Motion helping develop this bike, the actual motor of this bike kind of looks like one of their bikes called the Escape. And that bike has under 10 kilowatts of power. Now, I don't think Yamaha would release a bike with that low of power, but just saying, since we don't know the specs exactly, we do run that risk, and that would be a big letdown. So, do I think this bike is going to be a success? The short answer is yes, I think it will be. Mostly just because of the timing when it would come out. I feel like just in the past year, e-motos are starting to get the nod of legitimacy from the gas bike community. Not saying people are like full on converting to electric, but people are starting to see, okay, there could be benefits to these bikes. Shout out Stark. I mean, I think them releasing the Vark and continuing building on that platform has helped a lot. There are some really good e-motos out there that are a great bang for your buck. So point being, a reputable brand like Yamaha releasing a bike, I think would actually generate a lot of interest. Again, I think a lot more people are open-minded about buying an electric dirt bike now. Two, on that note, I mean, if you are wanting to buy a full-size e-moto, you don't have many options, as we talked about earlier. As long as the price isn't too crazy, I think this bike is set up to succeed. When will it release to everyone? I don't know. They didn't really say. I mean, I think it's safe to say it's going to be a while before we see this one. Man, overall, hyped on the bike. Cool to see Yamaha coming out with this. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Would you buy a YE-01? But that's going to do it for this one. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch y'all next video.